Hello everyone, welcome to this episode, this video, this content. My name is Nimmer, and this is going live on Thursday, October 14th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, although it might be completely a different day where you are and whenever you decide to watch this. We'll start out with a few things. First of all, thank you to those who have subscribed recently. I see we've hit 380 subs, so that is excellent. We're still climbing, and if you know anyone that wants to might be interested in this content, feel free to pass it along to them. Definitely appreciate it. And let's see what else. Kirt wasn't feeling well, so I'm not sure that he'll be in. Hopefully he will, but if he is or is not, Kirt, hopefully you get to feeling better wherever you're at. And Harshid, he wrote in the chat. He says, hello. Hello, Harshid. I think Kirt was just afraid because I was going to give him a bit of a hard time because he actually sold his Braille note. And he was talking about how good it was last week. Poor Kirt. Oh well, we'll have to give him a hard time next week. And let's see. I want to thank the few of you who are here watching, and let's start out by reading some of the comments. Let's see. Let's read some of the comments from last week, because we did get a number of comments that came through from the last video where I discussed a number of things. And those are about the Braille notes. So here we go. We've got, let's see here. Jude, she commented. I believe it's a she. I'm not sure. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. Motorola has a 2 operating systems update policy in effect. I have a Moto G7. I started on Android 9 and has been on Android 10 for a while now. Security updates could come through a bit more often between operating system updates though. Uber is helpless and hopeless. It is locked on the iPhone device I had before I got this Moto G7, and I kept the same phone number, so it cannot get a clue. I use a different device with the same phone number. I believe these are referencing some of the news articles from last week. You can go through and check those out in the comments section on the YouTube or in the description, the video description. Let's see, here's another comment from Jude. I forgot to mention the good news in my last comment. Uber's competitor, Lyft, and the Lyft software has no such new device problem. And we've got another comment from Jude, I believe. Oh, nope, this is another comment from Gideon. It's a hashtag YouTube something Brill. I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean, Gideon, but maybe you can let me know. That would be helpful. And we have a new comment as well. This comment is from, let's see here, Aaron. Okay, Aaron has to say, I'm thinking about switching to Android. My main concern is for work. I use Outlook. I am wondering how this works with TalkBack. Am I able to move around to new appointments, read emails? How accessible is Microsoft Teams with TalkBack? Looking at getting Galaxy Z Fold. Both of those programs are accessible with TalkBack. Outlook does work with TalkBack. You can move through the appointments, and you can read your emails with Outlook. I use primarily Gmail, and Google Calendar. So I don't use Outlook a whole lot, but I'm sure others who have used it might comment and let us know a little bit more. You can also ask your question. There's a number of mailing lists as well, Android accessibility, as well as blind Android users. Those communities should be able to help out a little bit more with Outlook, and those are on groups.io. But yes, Outlook is generally works pretty well, and as does Teams. And let's see. There's another comment here. Let's see. Iris Girl 86 has commented. I generally agree with this video. I used a Braille note extensively from age 9 till the end of high school before deciding that it would be less and less useful as I moved through college and work. I did not start to learn to use a PC until I was 12. While the Braille note has many limitations, I kind of just got used to its limitations and flew with it. Despite those limitations, but I did use a laptop a lot for things that the Braille note isn't capable of. Like I've tried using Google Docs and slides with a Braille note, and it's not a great experience. But I did it anyway, just for typing. Text. Another additional niche I would like to mention for Braille note takers is the reading and writing of .brf, .brl files. These are Braille format files, and they are very useful for reading and writing obscure Braille codes in sheet music. A Braille note taker was really the only good solution for doing those types of files until the modern smart Braille displays came along. You could find workarounds to read a BRF file in Notepad on a PC, but it's not something I recommend doing regularly since you need to pair Braille display to do it. Anyway, unfortunately, I admit that the Mantis, Chameleon, Brailliant, BIX, and the Focus do not allow you to save in the .brf, .brl format. They can only read those files, which was the main reason I chose the Q Braille. I use my Braille device to read a Braille sheet music all the time, and I need to be able to edit the files as well. I'll also mention that I believe the Focus was only able to save in a proprietary format until very recently, so that also made me avoid the Focus as well. Alright, well I want to thank you all for those comments. Let's get Kirt in here so we can give him a very hard time, because that's what he deserves for being late. And let's see here. Hello?
Hello. I'm gonna get a hard time.
You're going to get a very hard time. Now, what did you do with your Braille note? I heard a rumor, something about you came on here to tell us how great it was, and then what happened here?
Well, timing was very funny, but I decided someone living very close to me decided that they were wanting to buy one, and I decided that I wanted the money more than I wanted the Braille note. So I no longer own a Braille Note Touch Plus.
I see. Well, kish kish.
Yeah.
I was reading out the comments, and so somebody was, I don't know, you came in the middle of it. They were talking about the Braille note and and the uses that they put it, and they recommend it for BRF, BRL files. So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
and I agree with that.
Yeah, I do too. And look, he's going
to tell us how good it is, even though he sold it. Okay, go ahead.
No. Well, look, there can be things that are good at doing certain stuff that, I just needed the money more than I needed something that could handle BRF files and be good at Braille math.
Right. Blame the money. I see.
Yep.
What do you guys think? I think he's being a little suspicious, maybe. What do you guys think? Little suspicious.
Yeah, vote in the comments. Can you make a poll on this YouTube video?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Anyway, yep. So that was the comments, and there was something else in there about Outlook for Android. I don't know if you use Outlook for Android. I know it's accessible.
No,
or Teams for Android.
I've had a very casual look at Teams, just like the intro screen, but I haven't
Yeah.
really done anything with it. So yeah, I really couldn't say.
They both work. They're both accessible, but like I find Teams to be a little bit clunky on any platform, so not the best person to ask about Teams because I'm just not a fan of Teams. But if you have to use it, it does work. It is accessible. So there we go. All right, well, there we go. That's all the emails. So we had, or actually the comments, we had like 4 or 5 comments from on the last video, so
Nice.
people were quite engaged with us. And if you'd like to comment on this content, feel free to leave them in the comments or in the chat. Harshid left us an emoji. Hello, Harshid.
Hey, Harshid.
And yes, so let's talk about what's going to be coming up for today's video, and it's something that we kind of addressed a little bit, and Kirt reminded me that we kind of already did this a little bit when I sent him the description of what we were doing, and he's like, oh, again? Yeah, I guess we already did this a little bit, didn't we? But I still see a lot of emails about Google broke my basic HTML. My basic HTML is great. I love my basic HTML. I will die using my basic HTML. The standard HTML sucks. The standard mode is terrible. It's just the most awful thing ever. It's really cluttered, and don't ever make me change. Basically, it's the description, it's a synopsis of the emails that I see all the time from users who are so unhappy with the change. I got a message, like a urgent messenger from ping from a friend. I was saying, please help me. Google messed up my basic HTML, and I can't log into it. And
So the link is still there if you Google search for it.
yeah, the
If
link
you
is still there.
absolutely insist. Yeah.
Yep, it's still there. There is no more button apparently to switch back to it, but the link is there, and if you bookmark the link, you can't access it. But I will strongly, 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 strongly advise, and I try to meet people exactly where they are, but I will still strongly advise that you stop using basic HTML yesterday, or a year ago, and start using standard mode. So we'll talk about why that is, and we'll demonstrate standard mode from the perspective of maybe a couple of different screen readers. I know Kurt's not feeling well, but hopefully he stays with us today.
I'm
Kurt,
here.
Yep, Kurt, hopefully get to feeling better. Maybe try getting some weed. I don't know what to tell you.
That's always the answer.
Yep, that's always the
But,
answer.
so,
I know Kurt
I
pretty
just
well. That's the answer.
I just want to say really quick, for those of you who are still using basic HTML, even after Nimer demonstrated the standard view on Blind Tech Guys a few months ago, it's really only been since I got this Chromebook that I personally switched over. And so, I consider myself a decently tech-savvy person, it was still just what I knew, and I just hadn't really bothered learning. Like, there are new keystrokes you have to learn. Everything doesn't work quite the same way. So it's like, I can understand why you maybe haven't yet. I just think it's worth a try because it is actually more accessible than I realized it was.
Yeah, and if you're used to using Outlook, it's going to give you more of that similarity of using Outlook than the basic HTML is. And you're going to, another thing I will promise you is that you can achieve the same task using the standard mode with fewer keystrokes than you could with the basic HTML. So if you care about your productivity, I can almost guarantee you that it will improve in the long term by switching to standard mode.
Even if you're someone who lives and dies like I was with the, screen reader find feature in basic HTML and thought that made me pretty efficient, it's like, this is actually faster.
Right. Okay, well, before we keep babbling on this basic HTML, let's go through the news, because I got a bunch of news articles for us, and I don't know if you have anything there, Kurt, but I have a bunch of news articles.
Oh, yay.
And by the way, those are all in the description. And so I try to bring up more mainstream stuff that our blind community might miss, because there's a lot of sources for blindness type things. So a lot of these are more mainstream tech articles that you might have missed in your day-to-day, I live in the blind world life. and hopefully they might interest some of you that are in this channel, and hopefully, well, there we go. So this first one here, and they're in no particular order. I did not order them in any way or at all. This Ubuntu 21.10 has arrived. So for some of you who do use Linux, this is something to look forward to. Of course, it's always a little scary when you get this update. Like, is it going to be bootable afterwards? Is it going to work? Can I install it without breaking the kernel and all that? But it certainly is out, and let's see what this one is called. Okay. Impish. I'm not sure how to say this other word. Indre. Is that like a, or no, is that like a French word?
Yeah, must be.
I'm not really sure. Maybe you can tell us how to say this word. Andre. I'm not sure. Anyway, this thing is out, and it's not a long-term supported release, so it's only really going to be updated for about 5 months. So you don't have to update if you're running a long-term release, but if you're running the short, the 6-monthly, every 6-month upgrade, then this is kind of out. So let's see here if we have what's new. GNOME 40, that's out. So this thing will come with GNOME 40, and GNOME 40 is the desktop that's used. So if you're not familiar with Linux, there's a lot of different desktops. They're sort of like launchers on Android or things like that that you can use that will pretty much change your entire experience with Linux. So GNOME 40 is out, and which gets dynamic workspaces, touchpad gestures, Firefox as a snap application, out-of-the-box support for graphical applications on the Windows subsystem for Linux. So hey, we might be able to run like Jedit and other things like that from within Windows. This is pretty cool.
Nice.
So there's a number of things added for developers, like PHP 8, that kind of thing. Brings along a new kernel. So definitely give that a go if you're excited about Ubuntu. And,
yeah, if you're a Linux person.
Yeah, you can learn a lot more from this article. So, all right. Last week I mentioned about AMD makes things worse for Windows 11 makes things worse for AMD, and the new Windows 11 update for AMD seems to be even worse. So it seems like we're making good progress
Microsoft
here.
would take this more seriously.
Right. Seems like we're making really good progress. So many AMD processors run slower on Windows 11. AMD processors are affected by two problems: increased L3 cache latency and the preferred core not working correctly. According to AMD's own investigation, performance impact could be as high as 15% in some games. And AMD officially confirmed the performance issue last week. It said the problem would be fixed in an upcoming Windows 11 update. Quite the contrary. When first Windows 11 patch has further worsened the performance issues. According to Tech Power, the first cumulative update has further reduced the performance of AMD processors. The publication ran some tests on a Ryzen 7 2700X processor, which shows that the L3 cache latency has nearly doubled after the patch. Before the patch, latency was in the vicinity of 17 milliseconds, but now it has jumped to 31.9 milliseconds. Ooh. Latency was 10 milliseconds, or nanoseconds, not milliseconds, on Windows 10. So similarly, someone else observed similar behavior in their testing of a Ryzen 5 5600G, which is their newer processor, recording a latency of 40 nanoseconds. Wow.
That's, yeah.
and 96 gigs per second read and write throughput. In comparison, the same system had an L3 latency of 12.4 nanoseconds and rewrite throughput up to 378 gigabits per second on Windows 10.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
at least it looks like we've got a deadline for the fixes, though.
yeah. Well, let's hope that actually fixes it, you know?
Right, so they're saying October 19th and October 21st are when those fixes should arrive through the Windows Update channel. But, you know, they've promised things before, so.
Yep, October 19th and the 21st, so hopefully next week we'll be able to report that things have gotten better for us AMD users. Here's an interesting one. What's this one about AirPods? Uh-oh.
Looking like the Apple ecosystem isn't completely perfect with Find My.
Right. So this article
I love
starts
that this
out...
came from XDA developers, by the way.
Yes. Make sure to reconnect your AirPods periodically or some Find My features might not work.
It seems like this iOS 15 has been way more buggy than iOS's releases are, even, like, normally.
Yeah, they're already working on iOS 15.1. They just released 15.0.2 a few days ago. I'm pretty sure we have an article in here on that. So, yeah, it has been pretty buggy. So apparently there's an alert that states you have not connected to your AirPods recently. This feature is temporarily paused to save battery life. To resume using this feature, connect to your AirPods. So, to be clear, if you have your AirPods unplugged for a while, or not connected, or not paired for a while, not turned on for a while, how about just reconnect them after a while? This article is really funny. It says it's not clear how often you have to reconnect your AirPods to Find My functional. So basically, the Find My feature, to me, in my world at least, seems kind of useless. If I lose something and I'm not sure I lost it, and then the next day I go back and I want to find it again, is this feature going to work? Maybe. Maybe not.
Yeah.
I think there might have to be a fix for this. I'm not sure.
So, I wonder if it works like... So, I have the Galaxy Buds Pro, right? So, the Samsung kind of version of this. And their version of Find My in the Smart Things app, it'll only, like, do a little chirp. Like, the earbuds will make noise if I lose them. But if I lose the case, I'm kind of screwed. Is it the same way with Find My here? Or is it like... Can you actually find the case? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't have the AirPods. Maybe someone can tell us. But I do know they've added more precise tracking. And I think that may be part of the case itself through UWB, the ultra-wideband, on some of the newer iPhones. So I think they've added more precise tracking that way. Is that my imagination? Or am I thinking of their tiles? Because I might be thinking of their tiles, but... I guess
think you're thinking of the tiles.
I
but,
guess the answer is that I'm just babbling and I don't actually know. So if someone has a better response, then please comment and let us know. Yeah.
AirPod users in the house.
Right. Yeah. I'm not one of them, and I find them extremely uncomfortable. The AirPods Maxes are okay, but otherwise I find AirPods to be just very just not comfortable. And I find AirPods Max to be overpriced for what they are for their sound. Their sound's good, just not $500 good, in my personal opinion. All right, so we have a new Chromebook. Are you going to go out and get it, Kirt?
I mean, no. No, I can't say that I am, but it looks like a really good one.
Yeah. Definitely does. So it was originally available in August, and it's sold out apparently. And now they're back in stock. So there's an i3 configuration and an i7 configuration. I don't know. Not sure that there's really a huge need for an i7 on a Chromebook, but
Yeah.
you certainly can. And the
Not
hard
unless
drive
you're-
is even crazier. It's 512 gig hard drive. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, most things are in the cloud on
Yeah.
a Chromebook, so I'm not sure what your.
Yeah. Now, I guess if you really wanted to do the Linux side, I guess that's maybe one of the selling points, but like, it's hard for me to recommend that for blind Chromebook users right now. There's still some accessibility issues that have to be kind of ironed out there.
Yeah,
And even then, like, you may as well just get another computer.
exactly. Like this i7 model, it looks like it's going for 1,149, which
Wow.
I think you can get a Windows computer with similar or even better specs.
Yeah,
for
probably.
Probably
Better
around
hard
that
drive
same
in there.
price. Yeah. Um, Apparently there's a 4K model, but that one's still not available. So there we go. If you want 4K, kish kish to you. Motorola Edge, that's a new phone that's coming to Verizon with the 5G ultra-wideband. So that's a new version of the Motorola Edge Plus, but it's a less premium version than last year's. I really liked the Motorola Edge Plus. It was a fantastic phone. Excellent, excellent speakers. The vibration and haptics were the best on any Android phone, period. The end. It's just a phenomenal phone. The battery is excellent. But there's one problem. Can anyone guess what this problem is?
I think I can guess.
Uh-oh. What is it?
Well, it might not be as bad at the Braille Note as the Braille Note Touch at getting security updates, but it's still pretty bad at getting Android updates.
Yes, absolutely. Pretty bad at getting Android updates and generally limited to probably two major updates. So, but those major updates could be quite a bit delayed. So your second major update might come a year after or something. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not interested in $1,000 phone that has a terrible track record of updates, personally.
How are they on security updates, though?
Still slow. So that
Okay.
phone was getting security updates, but it would get them 3 months behind. Sometimes there would be a big gap between updates. Sometimes you would get them. Very inconsistent and very slow. Otherwise, it was a really great device, and I mean, even though this Motorola Edge, this year's model, doesn't have the same level of specs as last year's, I'm sure it's still a great phone. So, if you're not interested in spending a huge amount of money and you want to check out Motorola, maybe this might be for you. In fact, I think Verizon's giving them out for free. So,
Yeah?
then there's a few unpacked events in here. Samsung's having their unpacked event. The rumors may be that they're releasing this S21 FE or whatever, which the fan edition of last year's phone was a pretty good buy. It was just, it just pissed off a lot of S21 users because, or S20 users because it
Yep, I was one of them.
it undercut the cost by like $300 and pretty much gave you the same phone. Actually, a better phone because it gave you a better battery and
Yeah.
in many ways it was probably a better phone.
Yeah, I would have liked it better, and it came out literally like 2 months after I bought my S20 for $1,000, so I was...
Yeah, that wasn't very good. Let's see. So there's other Google and Apple are
another
also
data
having...
breach.
Yep. I just want to... I'm skipping a little bit
do all
around,
the
but
unpacks together?
yeah,
Okay.
Google and Apple are also having their unpacked events. So Apple's seems like on the... Let's see, where's Apple? When is
18th.
Apple's? The 18th. Okay, so they're all. I don't know. It seems like these Apple and Samsung, maybe are they trying to like undercut Google or something? Their Pixel event.
Probably.
I don't know, because that's also going on, the Pixel event where the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro will be announced, and that's on the 19th. So there we go, and I'm sure we'll be doing maybe an unboxing of a Pixel. So.
Ooh, I'll be very jealous of you for that, probably.
Yeah. And we have links for where you can watch the Pixel 6 event and that kind of thing. So,
Yeah,
all right,
so Apple's probably going to be releasing a new MacBook, right? You think that's what they're going to do?
yeah, I think so. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. Probably the M2, maybe Max
Yeah,
with
or
their new M2 chip,
or just
or
a really
something.
overclocked M1, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Visible. Visible is a mobile virtual network operator owned by Verizon, and they've had a data breach. So here's another one. Boom. So if you're using them, maybe take a look at this article.
Dennis.
Yeah. What about Dennis?
He's a Visible guy.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dennis. Maybe you can use your external keyboard and call up Verizon. I don't know if you can use the dial pad with a physical keyboard with your Rivo, but if you can. Oh no, I think maybe he's using an iPhone now. So maybe it doesn't matter. You can just use your iPhone and you can.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, iOS 15.0.2 kind of already talked about this. It's released and fixes a few bugs. One of the crazy bugs apparently deleted user photos. So it might be worth checking out this 15.0.2 if you care about your photos.
Do you think it did that before or after Apple scanned them?
Maybe it deleted them to scan them. I don't know. Let's see. So, OpenSignal, they're out with their new quarter report of speed testing, and apparently Verizon and AT&T are a lot of them have broken 100 megabit per second average speeds, but also Verizon and AT&T are ahead in certain metrics, and then T-Mobile is the fastest and the largest, and Verizon and AT&T are better for video experience and gaming experience and all the things that people actually care about other than speed tests. Which I've talked a little bit about before, like T-Mobile's inconsistencies, where T-Mobile can give you a really decent speed test, but then if you actually try to do something, it's not great, or it's not as good. Also, just the inconsistency of the speed tests themselves, where you can stand in one spot and then you can walk away 10 feet, and you completely lose those. So
I will say T-Mobile's a lot better than it was, even consistency-wise, even a year ago. It's getting better, but it's definitely behind as far as reliability.
Yep. All right, let's see what else here. Anker. Oh, here we go. Okay, they're coming out with glasses. They're probably 2 or 3 years behind Bose.
Right.
But yeah, they're coming out with these glasses that have these speakers in them. And I actually first saw this on the top Tech Tidbits. I think they might have linked to a different article. And they incorrectly, in my mind, said that these are bone conduction. And I'm pretty sure these are not bone conduction. But they do have speakers in the glasses, so just similar to like the Bose frames or something like that. And they're supposed to provide surround sound. And they're going to make it easy to change out the lenses and the frames and all that fun stuff. So these are by Anker. So if you're interested in these Anker Soundcore frames, maybe something to check out.
Anker Encore.
No, it's the company's Anker. It's the company that makes the batteries and some of these, but they're calling them the Soundcore Frames or something. Yeah. Tile, speaking of trackers, they've released their next-gen trackers with improved range and ultra-wideband support for Android phones that support them and iPhones. So you can get some new tiles.
Nice.
And these are really helpful. If you want to stick one on your cane or whatever else, it'll help you find whatever it is you're looking for, similar to the Apple trackers, but they can be used across platform. Let's see. Page zoom. Apparently, this is a new feature for Android that is supposed to make zoom dependent on the page that you're on. So you're not always having to adjust zoom every time you revisit a particular page. This one is in Canary. Probably will roll out to stable stuff soon. You can tune your guitar with Google Search, and it's actually accessible. There's a guitar tuner.
Have you tried it?
I've given it a try. Well, in terms of I just pulled it up, but I don't have a guitar here, so yeah. But it is accessible. I do know that. So, all right. Well, that was a fun-filled news section. Lots of news this week, and some bits that you might care about, some that you might not. Let's see what is in here in this chat. We have a few chats, it looks like.
Yay.
How does Teams and Outlook work with Android? Oh, Aaron, you missed our beginning of the podcast. We talked about this. I'm kidding. As far as I know, Outlook works pretty okay, and Calendar with that's built into Outlook works okay, and Teams works okay. I have actually tried them, but they're not products I use every day, so I can't tell you specifics like, this bug might exist or this thing might happen, because it's not something that I use. I tend to use Google stuff, but I do know that Outlook and Teams on the Android side, I do have Teams installed. They do work. So, yeah, let's see here. Specifically the calendar. Yeah, the calendar works in Outlook. It does work and let you go through your appointments and things like that. Calendar, tab, and Outlook. Yep,
Outlook,
yep,
yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So,
Way to be thorough there, Aaron.
Yep, very good. All right. Well, if you're still watching this, we're actually going to jump to the next, the actual main section, which is Gmail. And thank you. Looks like 4 of you watching. Thank you for being here with us. Feel free to leave any comments in the chat, and also feel free to subscribe if you haven't already done that. Hit the like button, hit the dislike button, hit the share button. Do whichever one you like, and definitely is appreciated. If there was 2 like buttons, you could choose whether you like Kirt or you like me, but there isn't. So you just have to choose whether or not you like or dislike, and just go with it.
Super like us. Or wait, this isn't Tinder. Never mind.
Right. Okay, so here we go. Let's go to Gmail, and thanks. Thinking of switching to Android with the iPhone 12 mini. Yeah, that's a good idea. And, well, I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's something to think about for sure. And, Android's definitely come a long ways. And if you want to, you can always join. There's a mailing list, Android accessibility, plus subscribe at groups.io. There's a number of Android users there. And then there's also the very popular blind Android users. The one thing to note about blind Android users is they have discussions about any number of things from Android to cows. So if you
Yep.
if you want more of the all around everything goes place, go there. And if you otherwise want more Android centric stuff, probably check out the Android accessibility. Anyway, there we go.
Yeah. I will say the only reason really not to, it's going to be a good experience, I think, unless you are relying on Braille, like external Braille through a Braille display. I always caution people who are thinking of switching, if they're using that, then it's probably better to stick on iOS for now.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good thing, and it's definitely a good thing to bring up. And, yeah, it's good to do the research for sure. All right, so Gmail. Why do I recommend basic HTML? No. Sorry. Hold on. Rewind. Go back. Why do I recommend standard view over basic HTML? Uh-oh, we lost one person. I guess they didn't want to hear this part. Okay, thanks person. Standard mode offers the experience of similar to if I were using a mail client, such as Outlook or something like that. Now, how does that work? Because when I go to standard, some of you will say, when I go to standard Gmail, there's just all kinds of checkboxes and there's all kinds of links and there's all kinds of frames and there's all kinds of buttons and it's all so confusing and there's this and there's that and I just want to read my email and it's all so cluttered. Yeah, so you have to use it in a web app mode. And I've referred to this web app mode before, and what that really means is if you use JAWS, you keep the virtual cursor off or disable the navigation keys, either one. Same thing with NVDA. Keep the browse mode off, turn the focus mode on, or use the quick navigation toggle, turn that off, the quick navigation keys. Same with ChromeVox. Turn off sticky mode. If you're using sticky mode, which is not the default, by the way, but if you do use sticky mode, turn it off. And if you're using VoiceOver, turn off quick nav. And if you're using Orca, turn off browse mode or use focus mode. I believe that is Orca's term. So,
and scan mode and narrator, right?
Scan mode and narrator. So, if you have all these screen readers, do those things. Turn off scan mode, by the way, not on. So if you're using a screen reader, do that and use it in its web app form for probably about 90% of your email consumption needs. The only place that I would say that you probably want to turn it on, your virtual cursor, your browse mode, your scan mode, whatever, is when you're actually wanting to drill down into the email itself and literally read the email line by line or word by word, character by character, or access like a link in the email itself, that kind of thing. Then I would say, yep, turn that mode on and drill through the email itself that way. Otherwise, for pretty much everything else, stay in the web app mode. And what does that get you? If the website's still cluttered and there's still all these buttons and all that, what does that even get you? How's that helpful? Well, one of the first things that you'll notice is when you go into the Gmail itself, you can use arrow keys. You use up arrow, down arrow to move through your list of emails. So just like you would in Outlook or Thunderbird, if you're using Thunderbird, you could use up and down arrow keys to go through your list of emails. And it'll tell you some messages unread. It'll tell you the sender, it'll tell you the subject, it'll tell you the date and time it was sent. As you're going through your list of emails, you can also hit right arrow to sort and have only a specific column read out. So for example, if you're going up and down arrow keys and you only want the subjects read out, you can hit right arrow to get to the subject and then hit down arrow, and all you will hear when you go down through your list of emails is the emails by subject. It's sort of a quick way. You can do this in other ways, but it's a quick way. For example, if I want to find an email that Kirt sent me, I can just go to the sent, the sent column, whoever sent me the email, and just keep hitting down arrow until I get to Kirt's name. Okay, here's the email from Kirt. You can also do a search. Of course, this is Gmail by Google, and Google is known for search. So you can do a search, and if you search, you can search by sender, by subject. If you know the different operators that you can use, for example, you can say has, attachment, colon, and that way you're sorting emails that have attachments, or you can say from, colon, and then type in their name, or that kind of thing. And it's a quick way to type and filter out emails or search for emails that you're looking for. If you hit left arrow when you're in your list of emails, you can get to list of your Gmail calls them these things labels, but they're folders, but they're labels, they're folders, whatever you like to call them. So it's the same as if you hit Control Y in Gmail and Outlook. When you compose an email, you can just hit C to compose. So just like in Outlook, you hit Control N to create a new message. You can hit C to compose in Gmail. When you're going through email thread, the email threading is pretty easy with Gmail. You can just hit N to jump to the next message in the thread, or P to go to the previous one. And when you're ready, you can hit R to reply, or A to reply all. You type your message, and when you're done, you just hit Control Enter to send it, just like in Thunderbird or in Outlook. You can hit Control Enter to send a message in Outlook. You can hit F to forward a message. You can go through your emails and you can actually select messages as you go along just simply by hitting the letter X. Instead of finding the checkbox and hitting spacebar on the checkbox, you can actually just hit the letter X to select a message. And of course, you can then delete or archive or do whatever you liked with the message. You can set up, you can basically mute a message topic. So let's say you're on a mailing list and someone sends someone annoying that you really don't want to ever follow, keep sending emails. You can mute that thread. You don't have to follow it anymore. You can snooze. So let's say Kirt sends me an email and I want to ignore it until next week, or it's almost the weekend and I don't want to respond to it until Monday.
Until a half hour before the stream.
Right. You can snooze, and it's exactly what I did with those YouTube comments. When I got those YouTube comments, I got emails of those, and I just snoozed them because I knew I was going to read them out today. So you can snooze. There's a lot of things that you can do in the standard mode that you cannot do with the basic HTML. Not that you have to do these things. No one forces you to snooze emails. You don't have to use these tools.
So what exactly does snoozing an email do, Nimer?
So it makes it disappear. It's no longer in your inbox. I mean, it's there still, but you're not going to see it. It's not in your inbox. And all of a sudden, on the day of whatever you told it to come back, magically it'll pop up again.
Cool. So it's kind of like the take a break from a person thing on Facebook.
Sort of, except it's just basically a good way to manage emails so that, hey, I have this email and I don't want to read this today. I don't have the bandwidth for it. I'm busy. I'm tired. Snooze. See you later. Come back again next week.
Yeah, that's useful.
And you get to choose. So, there's different options. There's some presets, and you can also set up a custom option. And then when you're in Gmail, you can also use other tools like chat or calendar or some of these other tools as well, right from within Gmail. So you can easily create an event from an email that you have open. You can create filters from an email so that you can filter emails out from a person and choose what you have done with those emails, forward them to someone else, or put them in a different label. You can create labels. They're just like folders. All these features are accessible from the standard mode, and most of them are not. You can't do them with the basic HTML mode. Even if you say to me, well, I will never use any of these features, simply, I think being able to use up or down arrow key and X to select or deselect messages is a lot more efficient than any possible way that you were going through your emails in the basic HTML mode.
Yeah.
Because in the basic HTML mode, you have a checkbox, and then you have who sent the email, and then you have a link, and then you have the time, and then you have another checkbox, and so I can't imagine any possible way of going through your list of emails in the basic HTML mode. You could go just by checkbox, I suppose, but even then, I can't imagine any quicker way of going through emails in the basic HTML mode. And you certainly can't easily filter out by those different, like day or sender or subject or anything like that, and easily have those read out. You could use table navigation, but that will start to get a little bit verbose. So, what do you say I stop babbling and we jump to a demo of standard mode? And Kirt, do you want to demo it on the Chromebook? Are you able to do that?
Sure. I can do that.
Or would you prefer that I demoed it with NVDA first?
Can you demo it with NVDA first so that I can get some coffee and be a little ready?
Yeah. I will demo it with NVDA first. And by the way, again, no matter which screen reader you're using, the beauty of it being a web app means it's probably going to be similar or the same. The verbalizations will be the same, etc., etc. The keystrokes are definitely all the same. So the only thing you really need to know with your screen reader is how do you go into this web app mode? How do you get into this mode of turn on or off quick nav? And with voiceover, it's left or right arrow key. With JAWS, you can turn off the virtual cursor and on with Insert Z, like zebra. With NVDA, you can turn off or on browse mode with Insert Space. With Orca, you can do this Insert A, so that's kind of your single, double, and triple press will do various things with Orca. And with narrator, it's insert space will toggle on and off the scan mode. So as long as you know those commands, for the most part, everything else is going to be the same in your various screen readers. So I will go ahead and share my screen, share the audio, and as I'm going along, if you have any questions, throw those in the comments and I'll answer those in the end, or throw those in the chat. Okay, so we've got now my screen shared. And I will slow down my speech. In fact, I'll change the speech engine. That way some of you will maybe understand it better. I would hope. Let's see. Alright, let's go to Windows 1 Core.
New notification window. Red circle Live Studio. Restream desktop content shared Google.
And actually, I prefer the lady voice, so let's change it to the lady voice.
NVDA settings, speech, normal configuration, change. Voice, combo box Microsoft David collapsed Alt plus.
Microsoft Zero. Rate.
And I'll turn it up a little bit, because I think that's pretty slow.
65. 70. Voice. Edit cat apply button alt can't OK button. Red circle Live Studio Restream desktop content.
There we go. Hopefully that's an understandable voice, and if it's not, I apologize, and let me know, and maybe I'll look into getting the eloquence if that is more helpful. So let's go to, and this is stream, by the way, is pretty much audio only. I'm not focused on any video, so if you're interested in video, you want to help out with that, get in touch. But let's go to the inbox.
Inbox 1.
And if you don't know how to get to your inbox, you just go to gmail.com, and if you're not already signed in, you can sign in. You can always add a shortcut to Gmail on your desktop. That way you can always get to it pretty easily. So now I'm in my list of emails, and now I can easily do
YouTube.
Up and down
YouTube.
Arrow keys.
YouTube.
So
YouTube.
these are all the,
Now
I'm in my social tab, and you know, there's different tabs, and it depends how Gmail is formatted. Some of these may not be enabled by default, but I have these things, these bundles enabled. So I have social, and I have these YouTube comments that show up, so I can easily arrow through them. But let's go back to my main inbox, and you can switch to these using the grave accent key. It's the key right above the tab key, either that or Shift. Grave accent will go backwards, and so that's how you switch between the bundles. If you have those enabled, you can always enable those in the settings if you like. So now I'm in my inbox, and I have someone that emailed a question, and I'm going to open this question up because I do want to respond to that question, and it's about the Blind Tech Guys podcast, and it was a response to the announcement I sent out earlier. So let's see.
Unread. Me, Lindy 3, Gmail Basic HTML and Standard Mode Screen Reader Comparison, 4:31 p.m. Hello Nimer, has the Blind Tech Guys podcast been abandoned? It is not updating and I am not getting the usual emails from Mark, so has the YouTube video taken over? Cheers Lindy from, VIPL Bounce It. Row.
Okay, so basically, this is what it reads out when you're going through and going through hitting up or down arrow keys to read your email. It'll read out the person's, who it's from. It'll read out the subject. It does read out a few of the lines. This is like a preview of the message. It'll read those out. You can disable that, but it does read out a preview of the content. And if I hit right arrow,
Me, Lindy 3.
this is the information about the from, or who's in that sender box, and who that thread is from. Hit right arrow again.
Gmail Basic HTML and Standard Mode Screen Reader Comparison. Hello Nimmer has the Blind Tech Guys podcast.
And this is the subject line.
Thursday, October 14th, 2021, 4:31 p.m.
And this is the date.
Content info. Unread.
So now I'm going to hit enter on this email.
Conversation opened.
Conversation opened. All right, now I'm going to hit the letter N to go to the next message in this conversation that is unread. So
list. Lindy Bolulu 58 at bigpond.net. 04:28 p.m. 2 hours ago. Not starred. Reply more to me. Show details. Hello Nimmer, has the Blind Tech Guys podcast been abandoned? It is not updating and I am not getting the usual emails from Mark, so has the YouTube video taken over? Cheers Lindy. Show trimmed.
okay, so I've just read the email, and it just reads the entire email. If I want to go to the next email in this thread, then I can just hit N again and do that. But instead, I'm just going to reply to this email. So I'm going to hit the, let's just hit A to reply all.
VIPL Gmail Basic HTML and Standard Mode Screen Reader Comparison Region. Show trimmed content. Message body edit multi-line.
All right, so I'm in the message body. I'm going to start typing hello. Yes, the Blind Tech Guys podcast has sort of dissolved, but please feel free to subscribe.
S. B. Auto-corrected to subscribe.
So I intentionally misspelled subscribe, and it will autocorrect, and it'll tell you that it autocorrected. So feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then I'll type in the URL, https://youtube.com/nimmerjabber. Thanks. So I've just typed out this email, and now I can just edit it or read it or whatever I'd like to do with it.
Hello. Blank. Yes, the Blind Tech Guys podcast has sort of dissolved, but please feel free to subscribe to the YouTube channel at https://www.
And I can hit home to go to the beginning of the line,
Why?
similar to any other editor, or the end to go to the end.
Blank.
I can also
Why?
hit Control Home to go to the very top of the email.
Hello.
You can navigate by word.
Hello.
Control right or Control left
Yeah,
arrow.
comma, yeah.
Similar
Hello.
to other screen readers, and that's how it's done. So now if I want to send, I can hit either Tab to get the send button, or I can just hit Control Enter to send a message.
Sending. Cancel. Message sent and conversation archived.
Alright, and I have mine automatically set so that when I respond to an email, it'll archive it for me. That way it's no longer in my inbox, but I can always search for it if I want to bring it up again. Alright, let's send Kirt an email. So I'm going to hit C to compose.
Compose. New message dialog. New message region. From Nimmer Jabber less Nimmer.
Alright, so it is a little bit verbose if you don't shut them up, so you kind of want to make use of the control key, but I feel like in a way that's similar to other programs. Once it starts reading stuff out and you know you got there, you can just start typing what you would like and go from there. You don't have to listen to all the verbosity of whatever it's saying. So I'm going to type in Kirt's address.
List expanded. Kirt Manware.
And it automatically filled in the email, so I'm just going to hit enter, and that auto fills it in. And I'm going to tab to go to the subject, and test email. And I'm going to hit tab to get to the body.
Best. Nimmer J.
And that's my signature. It starts reading that as that is in the edit box. But you can just start typing. It's automatically at the top. Hello, Kirt. This is a test message in Gmail using the standard mode. Going to hit Control Enter to send this message.
DOM. Spelling error. E.
And I can't speak. I intentionally misspelled a word. I misspelled mode. And so now I'm going backwards.
Standard. Spelling error. Out of spelling error.
And
Spelling
as I
options.
hit a spelling,
Press tab to access. Escape to ignore.
as I hit a spelling error, it will tell me that I've hit a spelling error, and it gives me options. So now it's told me I can hit tab to access or escape to ignore. So let's hit tab and see what happens.
Mode suggestion 1 of 2.
Mode. Okay, that's the one I want. So now I'm just going to hit enter.
Suggestion inserted. Compose. Test email.
And it's told me that the suggestion has been inserted. So now I've inserted, so now I have...
Hello Kirt. Blank. This is a test message in Gmail using the standard mode.
And I've just, typed out a message. Now let's hit tab and see what other options there are here.
Send. More send options menu button.
More send options. Let's see what's in this menu here.
Expanded. Schedule send.
So I can do a schedule send. And that's the only thing that seems to be in this menu. So I can send this at a later time if I choose.
More send. Clickable attach files toggle button not pressed.
So I can attach files.
Insert link. Control.
I can insert a link and it gives me the
Insert
hotkey.
link. Control K. Toggle button. Insert emoji. Control Shift 2.
I can insert emoji. And I can do all these things from within the message itself, but it's also giving me the hotkey should I choose to do it otherwise.
Insert files using drive toggle button not pressed. Insert photo toggle button not pressed. Turn confidential mode on / off toggle button not pressed. Collapsed sub menu.
So I've got a number of these options, and let's see.
More send.
I can attach a file just by hitting that attach file and browsing for it. Otherwise, one thing I can actually do is just find the file that I want. So
File
let's go to
Explorer.
Windows Explorer.
Items, downloads. Today grouping. Today 118. 100,000 092 100,421 nimertime.xl.
Let's send Kirt my timesheet. So I'm going to copy this. And I just hit Control C. Now I'm going to go back to the body of the message.
Inbox Nimer.
There we go. And I'm in the body. And now I can just hit Control V to paste. And it's going to put that attachment. It's going to attach it to the email. So let's hit Control V to paste.
Attachment 100,421 nimertime.xlsm.xlsx added.
Okay, and it's told me it's added it. So that was pretty easy. And now I can just hit enter. Control enter to send this message.
Sending. Cancel. Message sent. Undo view message. Section.
All right, now let's go back through my list of sent messages and see if I have a message that I sent to Kirt or any other sent messages that I have. So I'm going to hit left arrow.
Navigation landmark. Inbox link visit. Snoozed link. Sent link visited.
And now I'm hitting down arrow to go through my list of labels. And I have sent. So I'm going to hit enter on sent. And that's going to take me into my sent folder. Or sent label.
To Kirt. Test email. Has attachment. 7:04 p.m. Hello Kirt. This is a test message in Gmail using the standard mode best. Nimer J.
So Kirt has received my email. I've sent it to him and it shows up in my sent list. And there we go. Let's see. You can also hit question mark, of course, to get a list of all the Gmail shortcuts. There are lots of shortcuts for editing, for spell checking, or going to the next spelling mistake while you're composing, keyboard shortcuts for chat. But I want to do one last thing here because I'm going to show the responsiveness of going through a long list of emails. So I'm going to go to my forums bundle, and this is where all my email list traffic comes in. And I'm just going to go through this
Forums.
pretty quickly, and I'll just select a bunch of them and delete them because I don't really want to look at them.
Unread. Quentin.
I can do a select all, by the way, because select all is not really available on the basic HTML, but it is in the standard mode.
Unread. Simon. Arlene 5. Oates turning off a touchpad. 7:05 p.
So there we go. And in this case, I just want to hear the subject because I don't really care who that's from. I know this is a mailing list traffic, and I just want really to hear the subjects as I go through them.
Inbox Nimer Jaber. Unread. Simon. Arlene 5. Simon. Forums Oates turning off a touchpad. Forums Oates latest. Forums Oates latest iOS. Forums and Forums blind. Forums and Forums VIP. Forums 1. Forums and NVDA error checking for.
And it's telling me forums because that's the label that I'm in.
Forms of Simon. Select. Unread.
So let's just go through and select a bunch of these. And by the way, it's reading them as selected when I go back to the regular view. In the subject mode, it doesn't say they're being selected, but they are being selected. I just hit the letter X and they are selected.
Unread.
So let's go back to subject mode, and I just wanted to show that they were actually selecting. So I'll just hit start selecting a bunch. X, X, X. I don't care about that one. X.
Forms VIPL audible prop. Forms NVDA error checking for.
Select X. Select X. Select.
Forms Krebs on 6.
Select.
Forms Win Access.
Select.
Forms Beta Merge Sub.
Select.
Forms Blind Tech How Do I Say.
Select.
Forms Special Win Access. One final letter from the outgoing head list Forms Blind Adds Children's Books to give away.
Select.
Forms NVDA Thunderbird My Pre.
Select.
Forms VIPL
Select.
Forms Tech 6 Announce List Prioritizing Accessibility at Microsoft with feedback from.
And now I'm just going to archive these messages. I might want to come back to them later, so I'll just archive these messages.
Unread.
And that way they're no longer in my list of emails.
Unread. Unread. David Goldfield. Tech 6 Announce List Prioritizing Accessibility at Microsoft with feedback from people with disabilities. 540.
And here's an email I want to read, so I'm just going to go into it. This is from David Goldfield, his Tech VI mailing list, highly recommended place to get tech news. And I'll just open it up.
Conversation opened. List.
And I'm going to hit end. And now I can just start reading. And I'll just, in this case, I'm going to go out of focus mode. This is the one case where it's probably helpful to go into browse mode. And now I'm just going to jump to the text and just start reading the text.
Products. Being successful at this important work hinges on getting feedback from people with disabilities.
And actually, I'll just start a read from next, or read from cursor.
Being successful at this important work hinges on getting feedback from people with disabilities ranging from mobility and cognitive disabilities to temporary disabilities due to an injury or short-term condition. Hope Ivaiwar, a user researcher in Microsoft Digital, says that creating inclusive experiences start.
So I'll stop, and I'm just going to go back to the inbox. There's a button to go back to inbox, but otherwise I'll just go back into web app mode and then simply hit the letter U to go backwards. Or if I want to delete it, I can just hit the number or Shift 3 to delete, or archive it, or whatever I like to do. But let's go back to the inbox.
Main landmark.
As you notice, that was pretty quick, and really the thing that's slowing me down is the TTS responsiveness here. eSpeak is more responsive, so eSpeak is going to provide better responsiveness. The only lag here is really from the Microsoft TTS and not necessarily from Gmail. I can very quickly go through a list of emails. I'm just hitting up and down arrow keys.
Unread.
So it's very quick and very responsive. Kurt, I babbled a lot here. What do you think?
Red circle lives. Button stop screen.
I don't know if Kurt's here.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello.
I think you should check the comments, Nimer. No, I think all of those are some of the ways why this is a lot faster than just basic HTML. And in a minute here, I'll demonstrate some.
Hold on. Let me read these comments. This is interesting. Kurt here says, I just want to say your speech is both too fast and too slow. Kurt, no one cares what you have to say. I'm kidding.
So am I.
Let's see. DAYP. I'm not sure what DAYP is. Harshid. And he also says Deo. What is Deo? What am I missing? I must be missing something here. You'll have to let me know what I'm missing. But yeah, if you're watching this, thank you very much. Looks like, again, there's 4 people here. Thank you so much for watching this. And Kurt's going to demonstrate some of this on the Chromebook, probably with his own style. And let's see what he has to say about it on the Chromebook land. But you should notice that it's going to be similar.
Yeah. Okay, let me do a screen share here. And
by the way, Kurt is using the mic on his Chromebook, so if it sounds really good, that is coming from the Chromebook mic. I'm just using a cheapo headset.
All right. Share system audio. And here we go. I have got my... I don't know why I turned the volume up.
I have to add it to the stream.
Oh, okay.
So hang on 1 second. Add to stream. There we go.
All right. Let me slow her down.
Rate 69%. Rate 71%.
Oh, not speed it up.
Rate 44%. Rate 37%. Pitch 44%.
No.
Pitch 50%.
All right. See, even though I've had this Chromebook for a little over a month now, I still sometimes do the wrong commands, but that is okay. So, here on a Chromebook, all of the keystrokes that Nimer just used basically work the same way. The only difference is you have to make sure you turn off a thing called sticky mode. Now, we went over this in our Chromebook demonstration videos, but basically sticky mode is the... It's like quick nav or scan mode. And so you want to turn that off to make sure things work with the web apps. And you do that by pressing the search key twice. Let me see. I think mine is off.
Sticky mode enabled.
Okay, good. So we want to make sure it's off.
Sticky mode disabled.
All right. Now, I am going to... I had Gmail open in another tab, so I'll just go into there.
Test email. Heading 2. Test email. manwaring.kirt@gmail.com. Gmail.
All right. So I wanted to show one of the ways, and just for context, I am not as
Stephanie
familiar...
Handley Richards, I don't see...
Oh, wow. Okay, that was a Facebook Messenger. Anyways. All right. So what I'm going to want to do here is, first, okay, Google.
Type launcher. Partial
Turn on
view.
Do Not Disturb.
Start a voice query. Answering on another device.
Oh, should have done this earlier.
If you don't have your screen on, you can always turn that on as well.
Volume.
Yeah.
73%.
That's a good point.
Speech off. Speech
search
on.
F7, I think.
Screen off.
There you go.
There we go. All right. Well, if any saw that Facebook message, I guess there have been worse professional blunders in the world. But one of the things I'm going to want to show here is, so like I just got to the Gmail page, and I have this email open up. In basic HTML, if I wanted to go to the inbox, I would have to go to the top of the page, open up my screen reader find with Control F or Control Caps Lock F or whatever command opens up the virtual find, type inbox, press enter, then press enter again on the inbox link, and you can get to the point where this takes, you think it's going fast because you're so used to it, but watch this. I have an email open right now. To go to inbox, I'm just going to press G-I.
Start a text query. Text
Oh,
input.
it would help if I was in Gmail. Okay.
Test email. Heading.
All right, so G-I.
Important. Nimer Jaber. Test email.
And
As attachment.
I am in the
8:04
inbox
PM.
right now.
Hello, Kurt. This
I can press, if I want to go to sent, I press G-T.
important. Unread. 2. Greg 2.
All right, if I want to go to draft, I press G-D.
Draft. 2.
Go back to inbox, G-I.
Important. Nimer Jaber.
And by the way, if you're using Google Chat, it's the same kind of two-key syntax. It just starts with H, like H, and then C goes to chat, H, and then R goes to your chat rooms. So it's like same syntax for using Google Chat, which is another reason why this is better than basic HTML. So let me just go through...
You have new
Arrow through my
updates in
inbox.
your direct message with Nimer Jaber. You have new updates in your...
All right, so now I'll press HC.
2.
Okay, maybe I did the wrong keyboard shortcut there. I'm not as familiar with the chat. But to find the keyboard shortcuts, I will do the question mark.
Question mark. Question mark. 2. Added.
What's
Sticky
that?
mode enabled.
It is HC,
Add
but you're
CC
probably
recipient,
in
Control
the
Shift C.
toolbox. And so you need to hit Control Shift to get out of that.
Oh, okay.
Draft discarded. Undo.
Oh! Oh! How did that happen? Okay. Alright, so I'll go back to my
Important
inbox.
according to
And
enable
then
desktop note.
stop H.
Support. Has pop up. Enable desktop notif. Okay.
Okay, why is my HC not
Mail-
working here?
Mail.google. Close.
You need
Show
to
notifications.
enable or disable notifications.
Oh.
Close. Mail.google. Show block. Allow.
Okay, I thought I had done that many times, but that's okay. You
Nimer
can do
Jaber message.
notifications. Okay.
Search. Heading. Support. Has pop up. Chat notifications are now enabled. You can enable email notifications via the Mail. 15,300. Collapse mail section.
Okay, H.
Mail.
C?
Options. Has pop up. Sticky mode disabled.
Oh, that's why my sticky mode was on. Okay. H, then C.
Active unread Nimer Jaber. Did you get my message? Press tab
Huh.
for more options.
Alright.
Message Nimer Jaber.
So,
History
I
is
pressed
on. Text area.
right arrow to open this chat message. So just for context, I just switched over from basic HTML a couple weeks ago. Or, whenever I got this Chromebook, a few weeks. So obviously there's a learning curve. But I'm already in the chat just from those keyboard shortcuts. So
H.
Hello.
Size 17.5. Black.
Nimer.
100% opacity.
I got
Font
your
Roboto.
message.
Message sent.
All right. And then I can press J and K to go through
You have
the
new
messages.
updates in your direct message with Nimer Jaber. You have new updates in your
Ha,
direct
my phone's
message
vibrating
with
here,
Nimer
too.
Jaber. J.
Okay.
H.
Oh,
H.
that's because I'm in the chat. I'm in the edit box. Okay.
Minimize. Message Nimer Jaber. History is on. Text area. Show action buttons for message Nimer.
All right. So I've obviously not played around with chat much here.
Show action button. Option menu for
So,
message Nimer Jaber.
To get to your list of chats, you can use Control J when you're in the edit box.
Oh, okay, cool. I was going to open up the keyboard shortcuts and go look there. So
Nimer
Control J.
Jaber, congrats. Now, new.
Thank you.
And then you can use up and down arrow keys to go through messages.
No more Nimer Jaber, yay. Comma. Kirt Manwaring, hello. Nimer Jaber, congrats. Now.
Okay, that's easy enough. I just...
And then to get back to the edit box, you just hit the letter R.
Nimer Jaber, yay. Comma.
Oh.
1 minute.
From any thread message, huh?
Kirt Manwaring, message Nimer Jaber.
Oh,
History
cool.
is on. Text area.
All right. Let's see.
I. Size
like
17.5.
Pepsi
Black.
more
100%.
than Coke.
Message sent.
And then I'll press Control
We'll
J.
have to kick you off the YouTube channel.
There are so many things I could say that I won't.
Kirt
But
Manwaring, I like Pepsi more than Coke. Now. New. Kirt Manwaring, no more. Nimer Jaber, congrats. 1 minute. Kirt Manwaring, I like Pepsi more.
and then I can press left arrow to close this conversation.
Active Nimer Jaber, you. I like Pepsi more. Away Sherry Oldham, you. I'm stuck in a bad feedback. Active.
Okay. So chat is something that I haven't used very much on my personal end, but even here, without very much experience with it, that is a lot faster than the times I've tried to use chat with basic HTML. And then, so that's one of the main benefits, that especially if you're using this collaboratively, like at work, and your colleagues are using Google Chat, then you can do that accessibly now. So let me go back to my inbox. I'll press G.
Important. Nimer Jaber. Test email. Has attachment. 8:04 p.m. Hello, Kirt. This is a test.
And then I can down arrow, up arrow through the...
Delivered. Your Amazon.com order pound. Unread. Google
What did
Assistant.
you get?
It's our Amazon.
I got tips for my Galaxy Buds. I got memory foam tips because they wear out every couple months.
Cool. By the way, if anyone's wondering why there's an echo, it's because every time I talk, it's coming back through Kurt's audio and sharing audio. So I'm sure it sounds weird.
I wish there was a way around that, but...
Amazon.
There is. I would just have to keep muting and unmuting you.
Oh.
Your screen share, rather.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. All right, so let me...
Important.
show... Now, just another very convenient thing you can do. Like, let's say I want to delete all of my red conversations, which I don't actually want to do, but I will press asterisk, then R.
Selected. Important. Nimer Jaber.
And now all of my red emails are selected, and I could press Shift 3, select the number sign to delete, and then to deselect these, because I don't actually want to delete them, I will press asterisk
Important.
N.
Nimer Jaber.
And then I can do the same thing here that Nimer showed with NVDA. If I right arrow...
Nimer Jaber. Row 1, column 5. Amazon.com. Row 2, column 5. Google is row 3, column Amazon. Nimer Jaber. Test email. Hello, Kirt.
Now I wrote it. I did right arrow again, so now I'm in the subject column.
Delivered. Your Amazon. It's our birthday party pop. Link to tonight's stream. It's our test email. Nimer Jaber.
All right. And then if I press
Important. Nimer
left
Jaber.
arrow,
test email.
now I'm back in the
attachment.
inbox.
8:04 p.m.
And now from here, in case I didn't want to use the keyboard shortcuts, I had a custom label set up for a folder.
By the way, Kirt doesn't have the bundles enabled, so his is going to look probably more like the normal.
Yeah.
What you normally have.
I should enable the bundles, though. That maybe I'll show that next week, or at least return and report, because that does sound very useful with all the Google groups and stuff. Okay, so
Inbox 29,916 unread.
Wow, see, there was a long time that I wasn't actually sorting. The problem with basic HTML, right there, is for so long, I just was getting a lot of spam emails and didn't want to go through the trouble of going through each one checkbox by checkbox. So that 29,000 however many emails is the result of years with basic HTML, really.
So there is a way to actually get rid of those. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to mute Kurt.
You can understand why I got into that situation, though, right? Like
I can. Let's see. Okay, I'm no longer hearing an echo. Good. Okay. What you can do is do a select all. So asterisk and an A to select all the messages.
Right.
But then when you do that, it's only going to select the ones that are visible on your screen.
Yeah, so there's only like 50 that it'll do.
Yep, and that depends on how many, because you can expand that out to 100. But it'll,
okay.
You can choose how many are visible. But anyway, it will only select the ones that are visible. However, there is a link after you do that. There's a link that says select all 29,000 whatever number of messages that you have.
Oh, okay.
That's up in your toolbar area, so you can hit comma and then tab to it. But there is that link. So once you hit that link, then you can archive or delete or act on every one of those messages. And if you are starting in a place where your inbox is so full of messages that it's overwhelming and you'll never get through them all, I always recommend just start over, select all, and archive at least, and that way they're not in your inbox. And if you do need them again, you can search for them and find them. If you don't need them, well, it's fine. You'll never see them again. And if you ever need to get rid of space because you're using up too much space, then you can always go through, remove,
Gotcha.
remove them or whatever. But
see, I had figured out the asterisk then A part, and actually, a week or so ago, this was up to about 33,000 unread messages, and I had just gone through selecting all, deleting. So
you could try it. I mean, just hit select
let's do this
all.
right now.
Yeah. So I'll unmute, but before I unmute, what I'll say is that you're going to select all and with asterisk A. Then you're going to, best way probably is just to hit the comma to get up to that toolbar, and then tab to the select all 29,000 whatever unread.
Okay.
All right. Your Chromebook is unmuted.
My screen share's alive again. Well, folks, I never thought I would actually hear Nimer recommend that I use the tab key, but here we go. See, this is actually really useful. I like this.
Sometimes tab has to happen, but this is my least favorite key, especially when JAWS continually says tab.
Yeah.
And as a trainer, I've had lots of people just hitting tab, so I hate tab key.
Yep, so do I. I actually, one of the companies I worked at, they had a team of people making accessibility scripts, and one of them told me, our accessibility is designed around you pressing tab to move to everything. And needless to say, blind people were not very efficient at that job. Anyways, let's do this here. Asterisk A.
Selected. Important.
Then I will do comma.
Select. Has pop-up. Collapsed. Archive. Report spam. Delete. Mark as read. Snooze. Add to tasks. Move to. Collapse. Labels. Collapse. More. Show more messages. Folder. Input tools on / select input tool. Select all 18,435 conversations in primary.
Oh, why is it doing... I must have things in my inbox that...
You have other bundles probably. There's probably one or two other bundles enabled.
Oh yeah, like the promotions and the social and all. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll deal with those in a minute. So let's press enter here.
Test email. Heading 2. Conversation open.
Oh no.
One red
Wait, no,
message.
that's not what I wanted to do.
Yep, so there is a little bit of an issue there
Inbox
where what you want to do is find, and I forgot about this, you want to find this link, probably using just like search right there or whatever, and I search space to activate it.
Okay, no worries. Let's see if it's still there.
Back to inbox.
Comma. Wait.
Archive. Report spam. Marked tasks.
You probably
more.
need to go back
Collapse.
to inbox.
18,400. Newer. Disabled.
Okay. GI.
Important. Nimer Jaber.
And then you want to select all again.
I need to. Okay, I got to start over. I can do that. So let's do. Asterisk A.
Selected. Important. Nimer Jaber.
All right, Nimer, you are going to be archived.
Select. Has pop-up.
Wonder if I can do Chromevox /
Find in page. Cell. Chord all. Space. Select all. Cell. Chord all. Select all 18,435 conversations in primary.
There we go. I just saved myself a little bit
Select all 18,435 conversations in primary.
Here. And so I will do Chromevox and then space to do this.
Inbox 15,344. Manwaring. Volume.
All right, and I actually do not know the keystroke for archive. So let's find the keystroke for archive. If I screw this up, Nimer, I'm sure I'll ask for help. But I want to... Go ahead.
So there may be... I don't remember. Last time I selected a bunch of messages, there may be some kind of pop-up that asks you if you're sure you want to select all those messages.
Oh.
Maybe just check the screen and see if they're actually selected. I'm not sure.
Selected. Amazon. Selected. Important. Nimer J.
Right. Well, see, I thought it had said selected earlier. Anyways. But that's always a good idea to double check. So, I really like this. Thank you for helping me figure this out with everybody, Nimer. So let's do question mark here. So like this is something you can do in a web app if you don't know the keyboard shortcut. I'll press question mark.
Keyboard shortcuts, the keyboard.
I will use my Chromevox find.
Find in page. Go to say. Archive. Archive conversation and go newer / older. Archive. Archive conversation and archive conversation and go newer / archive conversation and go newer / older. Row 18, column 2. Actions.
What I'm doing
Google
here is
chat.
arrowing through everything it pulled up in that search.
Archive.
All right, so I do want to go to that just generic archive one, so I will press enter here.
Archive. Test email. Heading 2.
Oh,
Conversation
no.
opened. 1.
Actually, I needed to do Chromevox.
Inbox 29.
Nimmer, what did I screw up there?
Start.
Okay. I'll try to guide you through it. Let me. There we go. We'll get rid of Sunkos. With Gmail and Chrome OS, if you hit enter, enter is sort of used as this hotkey to open up emails, which is a little bit strange, really, because when you try to do other things with enter that you might normally do with enter, it's doing things that you don't intend to do. So it's kind of, maybe that's a bug, but it's,
But it's also just, yeah.
It's always going to use enter to email to open the email that you're focused on, is what I'm saying.
So did I need to do the Chromevox space on that find result jump there, or was that not going to work?
I'm not sure if that was going to work or not. I suspect maybe not. But you can, once you bring up your list of keyboard shortcuts, you can just go through that list and find it that way. It's just E or Y, either one of those will archive.
Okay.
Just to be clear, but you can just go through the list of hotkeys that way. But yes, unfortunately, or fortunately, or one of the two, if you hit enter Gmail, it will open up an email.
Okay.
Instead of doing whatever it is that you think it might do. And this is a little bit maybe less true for like NVDA or something, because it actually brings up a whole dialogue. So when you're doing a find, it actually brings up this whole separate find dialogue type thing. So
yeah, Chromevox, it's just kind of like something that it pops on top of the screen.
Right. Yeah.
Well, okay. Alrighty then. So I will just press E. Let me make sure everything's selected again still.
Snooze. Starred. Visited. Important.
Wait.
None select. Amazon.com.
Oh.
Important.
Okay, I went to the inbox and have to do the selection again. That's fine. So I will do asterisk A.
Selected. Important. Nimer.
And I will
Sabra
do
Ewing.
comma.
Select. Has pop up.
Hello Sabra.
Ha! Right. Hi, Sabra. Okay.
Hopefully you're watching this video.
Marks. Move. Lave more. Show. New. Older. Input. Select. Conversations. Select input tool. All. 50. Conversations on this page are select all 18,435 conversations in primary.
All right.
Selected. Important.
Then I will press E.
Confirm bulk action. Confirm bulk action. Confirm bulk action.
Yes, I do want to confirm a bulk
Confirm
action.
bulk action. Heading close. This action will affect all 18,435 conversations in inbox. Are you sure you want to continue?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, I will hit the OK.
Selected.
Oh, no, I'm being archived.
Selected. Unread.
Oh, no.
Quora digest. How much do you...
Oh, now and I still... Okay, now I have the ones that were in the other bundle. So I'll do this one more time here.
And this might take a while. So when you have that many messages, you might see a little lag.
Okay. All right. So asterisk A. Oh, because it's still archiving. right? Is that what's going on here?
It's probably still archiving, and once everything's archived, there won't be anything in your inbox for you to do that.
Oh!
Hopefully.
I thought what it was... Okay, I understand. I thought what it was left
All
with...
conversations archived.
Oh, there we go. Cool.
Unread. Indeed. Comcast. Unread. Dropbox.
Now we're left with my promotional ones. Okay. Gotcha. So I'll do... asterisk A. Oh. I guess it's still archiving.
Unread. Indeed. Unread. Dropbox.
Yeah,
Is that what's
you
going
can
on?
always try refreshing and make sure you're back in your inbox.
Control R.
Gmail.
GI.
None selected.
Oh, look. Okay. There we go.
So you probably have nothing there.
I do, because I'm arrowing through and nothing's happening.
Yep.
And
You probably can try hitting the Rave accent to see if you have any bundles. I don't know if you have any other bundles there.
okay.
Skip
I
to
don't-
content.
I don't know
Visited.
if you have like promotions or anything else enabled.
Oh, come on.
Using Gmail with screen reader.
Oh, somehow I got to the top of the page. Okay.
Search. Heading 2. Mail. Heading 2.
Okay, come on. Grave accent. Don't know why my grave
It's
accent...
not doing anything. Maybe you don't have bundles.
I guess
enabled.
not.
I don't know.
I guess I don't. Okay.
I mean, you can always
None selected.
Then I can always what now?
once you're at near your list of emails or where the headings for inbox, you can I don't know shift tab or something see if any bundles are there.
Basic HTML view. Default. Address and search bar.
Hey, your
Basic
basic HTML
HTML view.
It is
Skip to
still there.
content.
I wonder if I was pressing the wrong grave accent key. I thought it was
right above tab.
Yeah. Oh, I think I was doing the
There's only one there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I got you.
None selected. Unread. Your downtown
Oh,
nay.
I guess
it's
I do.
cold.
Cool.
12.
Yeah, I was doing tilde. Sorry, I'm tired.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay. That would do it. All right. So asterisk then A. Still not wanting
Important.
to select.
Unread. YouTube. Unread.
Come on. Asterisk A.
Selected. Unread.
There we go. Comma.
Select. Has pop up. More. Show new folder. Input tool. Select in conversations. Primary. Social. Promotions. Unread. Barefoot.
Oh, I passed it. Okay.
Select input tool. Input.
Huh?
Select input conversations. Heading
Hey.
2. Primary. Tab.
Why isn't it-
Select input tools on Slack. Input tools on folder. Newer. Show more messages. Collapsed. Conversations.
I don't have that
So
select.
if you don't have more than 50 messages or something, that button may not show up. So you can just try archiving those that are there.
Okay.
Primary. Tab. Of. Selected. Unread. Your downtown nay. It's cold.
Okay. But then see, I had more. Because I just archived those. So that's interesting.
You just archived what?
I just archived the ones I had selected.
Okay. So now what?
But there's still more left.
None selected. Skip to
Oh, I guess there's not. I was being impatient with the lag. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure there would be. But maybe there's another bundle.
Yeah, let's check.
Unread. Smith's Savings in S.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright, so... Asterisk A.
Selected. Unread. Smith's Savings in S. Ends soon.
Maybe this button one has a select all link or something.
Yeah, let's find out. Let's do
Select.
comma.
Has pop. Delete. Marks. Move labels. More. Show more. Newer. Older. Input tool. Input tools. Select input tool. Conversations. All.
Guess not. Okay.
50. Select all
Oh, I guess there we go.
15,656 conversation promotions.
Oh boy. All right, so we're going to
Inbox.
select all those.
Manwaring.Kurt.
And archive.
Confirm bulk action. Confirm bulk close. Action will. Okay. 30 selected.
So the only reason I had so many emails here was just because with basic HTML, I didn't want to go through checkbox, 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 then find, delete, checkbox, check.
Yeah, so congrats. You just got rid of 29,000 emails in the time that you probably spent getting rid of whatever 4,000 the other day. Or
Oh, yeah.
Yep. That probably took you a lot longer.
It did. So that's cool.
Congratulations. Okay, well, we probably should maybe, I don't know, think about wrapping it up a little.
Yeah.
But, this has been this interesting comparison. Sometimes, different screen readers have a little bit different quirks, but generally they're going to work pretty similarly, and you can certainly do a lot more in a standard mode that you could not do in the basic HTML. It's a lot more efficient. If your basic HTML breaks, you can't find the link or the button up top, go to Google and find the basic HTML link, or better yet, try to take this opportunity to learn and start using standard mode. Highly recommend. Very highly recommend. And if you ask me which mode you should be using, it's not basic HTML. I can't really think of a case where basic HTML is better at this point. So, yeah, there we go. And Kirt, this was a lot of fun, and we had quite a number of, a little bit more engagement today, a few more people watching. I think I saw like 6 at one point. So thank you very much for being here, watching us, and our videos continue to see more subscribers and watchers and all that. If you feel like it, share it out. If you enjoyed the content, hit the like, subscribe, share it out, tweet it, snack, chap it, whatever. Kirt, thank you for joining me. And
yeah, of course.
It's definitely been a lot of fun. Hopefully next week we'll do something else more entertaining that maybe we haven't done already. We'll have to think about that. If you guys have ideas of things you'd like to see us cover, let us know. Otherwise, the thought is maybe we'll do some productivity on mobile and see how productive you can really be. Can you replace the Braille note, or does Kirt need to go out and buy another one? So we'll see how far we get along with that. And I want to thank all of you for being here, and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Cheers.